When I talk to my dad, I often feel like I'm in the passenger seat, just hoping that we don't crash. Hi, my name is Mateo.
And I'm Jesus.
And we are both Ecuadorian filmmakers. Together, we want to introduce our project.
We both wrote it, Mateo is gonna direct it.
And it was born out of my particular relationship with my father. My dad isn't a jerk. He's actually a decent guy. He was present. He raised me. But even so, I've never felt true connection. And it's not that I resent him, well, maybe a little. What I mean is that when I try to talk to him about emotions, there's something missing. And that absence is where our short film Pelos begins. It's an intimate short, it's a dramedy, it's a road movie, it's a kind of a coming-of-age film. The story begins with a father and a son who are scattering the ashes of Ramiro, who is Jairo's best friend. And Jairo is the father. He's a taxi driver, he's a messy guy, he's the kind of man who stains his t-shirt and won't take it off until it truly reeks.
Samu, on the other hand, is the son. He doesn't live with his dad, and he doesn't want to resemble him in any way. He even looks up his bald spot and worries that he will end up like his father. He's even using minoxidil already. But he still cares about his father, and he wants to reconnect with him during this moment of grief. So he decides to go with him during his taxi shifts.
At first they stop to eat something to set the mood. Jairo wants to invite his son to eat, but since he's broke, Samu ends up paying for everything. What starts as a bonding day between father and son slowly turns into a series of misunderstandings and not so PC comments, which I obviously won't repeat here, all fueled by the generational gap between them.
Throughout the day, they go from taxi ride to taxi ride, and by the end, they get so exhausted that they decide to go for a few beers together and be honest with each other.
But Jairo gets wasted, and Samu gets so frustrated with his inability to change his father that he loses all hope.
In the early morning hours, Samu has to drive the taxi by himself, and he helps his father get into bed, take off his shoes, and he tucks him in. And for the first time, he has the opportunity to see where his dad lives. And the apartment is really disorganized, dirty, cluttered. All is like that, except for one corner, where there is a scratching post, a litter box, and some toys. This corner is for the deceased friend in question, Ramiro the cat. Ramiro was a cat all along. The next morning, we see Samu shaving off his father's last 3 strands of hair, his last 3 pelos. And this is where the film ends. And this is also the image where everything began. One night, me and Mateo, we were drinking some beers, talking, and he told me, I don't know, I wanna tell a story about my dad, and I have this image, but this is all I've got. And from there, everything grew. What fascinated me was the creative potential that this image had, like how we could earn it. And I immediately thought about my own father, who was a taxi driver when he was 15. And he was a great father. He is a great father. He has hugged me my whole life. But I know it's been hard for him because his father never did. He never really had a real role model on how to raise a son. We've also won a co-production at a pitch in San Francisco de Quito University, which will fully cover our professional production equipment and our technical crew. We're currently in pre-production and ideally we would like to shoot in August.
I just want to say that, like Samu, it's been very hard for me to completely accept my dad, and it still is. But I've learned 2 things. Not everything is the way I want it to be, and that I have to improve how I manage my expectations of my dad. I know that my father, when he was a child, he didn't really have his own father either, so he never had a real reference for how to be one. And there's also the issue that we as men have learned how to mask our emotions, and it shouldn't be that way. Thankfully there is art where we can express ourselves about it.
We really hope you can connect with what we're trying to tell because this story comes from a really honest place.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.